how do you tell who's really building and who's just talking?
Whatever you do, make sure you choose a career that reflects the lifestyle you want to live, and not a career that's going to dictate the life you're going to have. When I first started this job, I was $20,000 in debt on my first employer because I didn't close a loan for 6 months.
Networking is a big part of the business, and people sleep on it.
People sleep on networking because they're afraid of meeting new people. But you know who else feels like that? Every other person in that room.
An overwhelming number of Gen Zers love to brag about all the things that they're planning to do, such as waking up at 4 a.m, or hitting the cold plunge daily, or hey, I made a new accountability system. And their expectation from society is they expect people to go, oh my gosh, that's so cool of you. Well, the reality is that they severely underestimate the amount of pain, the discipline, the sacrifice, and the time it actually takes to make a dent, let alone make $1 million. So how do you tell who's really building and who's just talking? Today, we're sitting down with Devin Peterson, a mortgage professional, investor, and founder of Pro Alpha Capital. He's built one of the most recognized lending brands for young investors, co-hosts a 200-plus quarterly mastermind, and now lives in Florida helping entrepreneurs get funded and grow their business. So we're diving into what it really takes to play this game long-term, learning what separates people from what makes noise so you don't make the same mistakes. Devin, thank you for being here.
Welcome, bro.
If you could get us up to speed with what you've done, how you kind of got to this point that you're at now, and what you're focusing on right now.
Well, first off, thank you guys for having me. What you guys are doing here is phenomenal. You know, it all starts with the seeds. You know, plant that seed one at a time. Slowly, it turns into a whole field, and you have your acres of diamonds. So you guys just keep that snowball going down the hill. You guys are gonna get there. I mean, I'm so humbled and blessed to be here, and you guys are just the team. The camaraderie is amazing. But yeah, I mean, how did I get it started? You know, I guess it's just I kind of fell into it. You know what I mean? Like, so I never intended to work in real estate finance or work in the lending industry. I played hockey my whole life. I thought I was gonna play like forever. I ended up taking my LSATs. I thought I was going to be an attorney, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know, we're going to work 90 hours a week." I said, "Yeah, okay, go pound sand." Like, you know, I'm not doing that.
I really like that.
Yeah, no, like I want a sense of life. So the story I always tell is that like I come from a family of like general contractors, you know, entrepreneurs, but I always kind of worked smarter, not harder. So never with my hands, but with my brain. And my cousin was married to somebody, still is, and he got me introduced into mortgages. And dude, I was like a senior in high school, and I had no intent of ever getting into the industry or any idea what he was doing. But I always admired him, like, you know, carried himself well. You know, he's successful, you know, family man, you know, he did all the right things. I was like, all right, you know, this guy's kind of going on. And we were like going out to breakfast one day, hanging out. We're going to go play golf later. We're sitting. He's like, oh, what do you want to do with life? I was like, I don't know. I might go to law school. I might do this, might do that. And I say this every time. And he said, well, whatever you do, make sure you choose a career that reflects the lifestyle you want to live, and not a career that's going to dictate the life you're going to have. And like, I was like, all right, where do I sign? Like, done. right? Done. Yeah. And ever since then, I was like eggs in one basket. And everybody says like, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket because you might fail. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I burn every other bridge around me, and like I don't give myself a way out, and I just go. And so I went full steam into loan origination. I learned everything about debt. And to me, debt is the best thing in the world, right? Like you can either have good debt or bad debt. If you're on the right side of lending, on the right side of debt, you're in a good place. You know how money works. You can use it to your advantage. You know, it's so I took my time from probably sophomore year of college, still to this day, just compounding, you know, being a very learned man, just trying to learn everything I can about, you know, commercial finance, residential, construction, ground up, you know, collateralized loans, uncollateralized loans, everything I can do just to kind of have that weapon. And so one thing snowballed to the next. I worked for him for a bit. And then I founded my own company because I saw fit. You know, you get to a point where you're like, you know what, I think I can do this by myself, and I can do it a little bit better, a little bit bigger, you know, modernize it a bit, throw in some systems, some AI, make it a little bit better. And so that's where I'm at. It's now the point where we fund in all 50 states, you know, for commercial, residential, non-QM products. But my big thing that I was missing my whole life really was guidance, and guidance from, you know, a male-ish type father figure, if you will, right? And so, as I was telling you prior to the show, like, you know, my lady Jacqueline, she really helped me find that guidance in Christ and in God. And so, like, when I kind of like I took a beat back, and I was like, man, now I own this company, right? Like, it's great, like I'm making great money, but what am I actually doing? And so when I kind of combine those two things, and I sat down with my thoughts, and I'm like, what purpose am I really serving? Like, am I serving myself? Yeah, okay, but like, am I making a bigger impact in the community?
Yep.
And you know, I had some reflections, and you know, we go to Bible studies, I have men's groups, and I sat there, and I'm like, you know what? I have to share my message. I have to share my story, and I want to be able to change the lives, you know, of people who are like in my shoes. They don't know what to do. They were C grade students. You know, they're a little bit, you know, assholes growing up. Like, you know, like I was getting in trouble. Like that was me. Like I was breaking everything. I was terrorizing everything. Like I had no idea what I was gonna do. And so, but now I have this job in this career where I feel a sense of purpose. I can't withhold this knowledge, right? Like it's not like people have trade secrets when they're really successful. I think it's like, dude, if you're gonna be successful, like why not share the love? You know, like why not be a bigger person and like portray yourself out into the world and try to do it for the better of mankind. And so I think now my big mission is taking what I know in the world of mortgages, um, and just being able to train loan officers on how they can really change their lives. And I don't mean just like, you know, buy a house. I mean truly like multi-generational wealth. And it's true, but like you said in the beginning, like you literally, you have to go all in. You know, you got to invest, and you got to love it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to love it. Because if you don't love it, it's tough, right? So I wake up every day, and not every day's the same. I know I'm gonna get, you know, shit canned, and I'm gonna put my feet to the fire. It's like it is a burn to learn business. I've lost tens, 15, 20. When I first started this job, I was $20,000 in debt on my first employer because I didn't close a loan for 6 months. You know, but that's because like we started like right when COVID rates were low, it spiked up, shit went through the roof,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh my god, like, you know, nobody's closing deals. It's so tough. But I doubled down. When people get up and take their chips from the table, that's when you get greedy. You just keep your, you know, you keep your nose to the grindstone, dude. And so I went down before I went up, and most people would have like they would have walked away, you know. But if you really believe that you have something good, you can't give up on yourself. There's so many people who haven't found that like drive and sense of purpose in what they do, and I knew that I could do this, and I was like, you know, it's just a little adversity. Like God can't put anything in my way that I can't conquer. You know what I mean? And so,
Yes,
like
sir.
from that day forward, bro, I was just like, just keep pounding it. And so now I'm at a place where I did it for 4 or 5 years. You know, I'm happy. I'm content. I don't really need to make any more money at this point in this time of my career. I I'm in a season of giving. I'm in a season of sharing. I'm in a season of like growing knowledge and helping other people like
Yeah.
build their empires. And that's what I love to do, you know? And that's Pro Alpha, dude.
Wow, dude, I love
Yeah.
that. So elaborate more on that. You say you want to help other people grow and build their empires. What does that look like on your day to day? What do you do with your community to actually like give back and help people get to the
So
next level?
in the company, we have the sales force, right?
Mhm.
We have the sales team.
Yeah.
And the secret to our sauce isn't about the products that we give. It's about the person that you are, right? So a lot of our sales training isn't even about like, you know, you open up a sales book and say, hi, Mr. So-and-so, I have this rate and I can, you know, get you this deal, this amount of day.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, so I look at my people one-on-one. I'm like, who are you as a person? Are you a fisherman? Are you a golfer? Are you a surfer? Like, you go to church, like, you know, or, you know, what are your hobbies? And you have to paint an image of yourself and then use that image to your advantage, right? To be able to create kind of like a following and a community where people can share a likeness in you and build faith and trust. And then by just be able to transmute that thought into reality, people automatically grow liking to you. And it's because you care, right?
Yeah.
So I with the quarterly networking events,
Yeah.
right? You know, we started doing monthly, right? That's how I kind of got into the network, and until I got into the community was through networking. But I didn't do it to get deals. I did it to literally learn, right? Like so I tell my sales force, I'm like, you have to be a curious person. You have to always, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Am I right? Right?
Mhm.
So you got to listen 80 and talk 20. I mean, I'm talking a lot right now, but I'm just sharing my thoughts all the time. But like, if I'm in a room and I'm talking, doing majority, I'm in the wrong room, you know? So my day really, right now is taking each one of my loan officers and diving deep into them. Like, and I'm talking deep. I'm like emotional scars as a child. Like, how do we mend those? Right? Like, how do we fix that? What do we use to your advantage? Are you good at going out to networking events and setting up coffees with realtors and referral partners? Are you good at setting up lunch and learns? Are you good at hosting networking events? Can we do like a scramble golf tournament where you can meet people? Like, or can you rent out I had one of my LOs rent out a pasta shop where you make gnocchi and pasta and stuff. And she brought in all her referral partners. Dude, they were doing like wine and like making pizzas and like pastas. Yeah.
That's unique.
Like,
That's
it's unique. And just because she cares, right? So, and now she watches their dogs, right? Like, she takes care of their kids. And so you just grow a community, you grow a trust in people. And I always tell everybody, I'm like, you just can't do it for the check at the end of the day, So we do a lot of giving back, right? A lot of giving back to community, a lot of giving back to, research, for special causes that people see fit. So that's my day to day, man. That and health. I'm big into health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to touch on too. Obviously, before the show started, we were talking about like your routine, the group you're part of, and like how that benefits you, especially within like the men's mental health space. So I was going to ask about what you do to keep yourself grounded and in tune, not just spiritually, but also like physically.
Oh man, dude. So I think if you don't have your body, right? You don't have your head on straight and your health and your body under control, you're not gonna have anything in control. There's a lot of people who complain about things that are out of my control, and they're really not. Like, there are things out of your control, but then there are things that people get into this vicious loop of, I'm unlucky, and I can't do this because of this, and they make excuses, right? And again, it all goes back to the frequency waves that you give out, right? Like your thoughts, if you tell yourself you're going to do or not do something, it's going to happen, right?
Mhm.
Like, everything in the world derives from your brain, right? And that is where things are born, right? So if I tell myself I'm going to wake up, take care of my body so I can take care of my company can take care of their people, and their people can take care of their community, it just naturally, does itself.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a mad science. It's just how it works. So, like I was telling you before, like, I've always been in shape, played a lot of sports growing up, always took care of my body. But like, when I moved to Sarasota, it took me to another level of taking care of myself, right? Like, you're young, you're in your early 20s, like, you got a high metabolism, like, you can kind of generally go out, drink a little bit and still feel good. Like, now I'm at this next phase of my life where I'm 30. I'm like, man, like, I can't be doing that anymore. So I'm already feeling it, bro. We went out last night with the fellas and I still feel a little left over.
Sure.
So, we had time. But my point is, like, I when I moved to Sarasota, I got involved with this community. It's called Pathos. Pathos is a phenomenal community. And it's just a micro example of what I think other towns and cities in the world, not even the country, can do just to help young men be better versions of themselves, right? So it's basically just a fitness community, right? We go to the beach, 7 a.m., we meet, we work out, go to some weights around. But I was telling, Nick in the beginning, I said it's the back end, like the marrow's in the back end. It's all about like coming in together and talking about the hard stuff, the challenges in life, what you have to do to face adversity, how you overcome that, being honest with yourself, right? Like, what are you doing when the curtain is closed, right? Are you going to be a zealous man, right? When no one's looking, are you doing the right things? And, so just having a community of men who aren't, belligerent drinkers, who aren't drug addicts, who aren't, just being fools. They actually have a sense of purpose. They have family. They are doing something better than themselves. Being surrounded by that 24/7, again, just you feed off of that, right? Like, and you just want to be a better person. And so it's just like, A players make A+ players. B players are gonna make C players. You know what I mean? So you next to a C player. So that's what I mean. So I'm with a community of guys who are always just trying to be 1% better. And that literally, I was like, took me to another level where I was like, man, I gotta take care of my body. And so, now I'm getting into like marathons and half marathons, and like, I'm doing high rocks competitions. Oh, dude, like I'm going nonstop, because I'm like I said, I'm in a season where I'm like, what's next, right? Like I got one life. I'm just gonna challenge myself. The lending business is fine, mortgages business is fine. The rentals are going. Like, what's next, right? Like, and so I am always ready for new challenges. And so, I've never done like a half marathon, and I check that off. I've never done a fitness competition. I check that off. So if I can just do something to push myself and find a gear of being uncomfortable, like at least for me, like I thrive being uncomfortable. A lot of people hate being uncomfortable. Because as soon as you're content, your demise begins. The next person behind you is catching up. They're in the left lanes, like in the sixth gear, going by you, and like you're just, I'm chilling, right? So I hate that, and that's just like my mind is always in another gear. I like as soon as I like, I remember like playing hockey growing up. We win a championship or you win a game. You're like, I don't care. Like the job's not done. Like trophy, we don't have the trophy yet. It's like we got to go. So the same thing I apply to my health, right? I apply to my religion now. I apply to like my relationship with my woman. I apply to everything, and it's like, you have to be able to compartmentalize, the things that are kind of attacking you in the reality of the modern century, and then just focus on what you can focus on. And so I think that's kind of what I like to do.
I gotta ask you, because I think we all make it seem pretty easy, but I mean to be as disciplined as and really what you're sharing is again we consider it easy, but on the grand like on a bigger scale, I think way too many people have a hard time like actually committing or putting themselves out there or actually taking the risk to get uncomfortable. Why do you think so many people are stuck? Or like why so many people? Why so much depression? Why so much of just inaction?
Yeah, I've battled with that thought for years. I think the biggest part of it is how they were raised or how they were taught or how they were taught to think. And it all goes back to how your DNA is coded. And it's like, if you were raised by parents or people who had a one-way minded of thinking of doing things, and it's to no fault of your own as a child, right? If any of us in this room, that's just how you know to live, right? So if like you just think something is unachievable because you don't have the means to accomplish that, then it's like you're automatically checking that off. Whereas, again, I was saying before, like the frequency waves of your thoughts, if you just kind of like reteach yourself to find a way to make things happen, that's where people really fail, is because they don't think they have the support, the resources, but you have a brain, right? And you have common sense. And I think if you have those two things and you can speak, a coherent sentence, you have the ability to do a lot of things. And people just, they're not motivated. One, a lot of it is because of what they see online nowadays. People are like, oh, this person's way ahead of me, I shouldn't even start. Like, no. Again, you're talking shit about yourself. Like, you're not even gonna, get in the car and go. But it's a way of like finding your challenges and like knowing what you're good at versus what you're not good at, and then find someone that complements you, right? Like find someone who can give you those attributes. So yeah, I think it's just like a lot of people in this day and age, they think they're born with something and like that's their life. They're born with a hand down and they don't want to change, which is sad because I think everybody should have a fair opportunity to be successful. It's just a matter of literally it clicking and being like, I got to put myself in the right room. That's a big reason I moved to Florida. I moved to Florida like to have fun, like go to the beach and like, have a good time. But when I got there, I was uncomfortable. And then I realized I was in a different like group. It was like I just literally had a different sphere of influence. And automatically I was like, man, like, these people they're winners, And so I was like, I gotta get mines too. Like I can't come back home and just like go back to being comfortable. So I don't know, man. That's how I feel, you know?
I feel like your environment has so much to do with it. I actually just saw a video yesterday with this lady. She posted, you don't know how much your environment affects you until you change it.
Unbelievable.
And
So
yeah,
true.
yeah, it's like so she was stuck in New England. I think she's based out of like New York or something, but she was stuck with all the obviously the four seasons, but especially when it's cold. We have so much cold weather up here.
Yeah.
She moved down to Florida. And now
think I've
she's
seen
like
that
her
somewhere.
business is booming. She's a lot happier. She made a new sphere of friends, and obviously it was like her content's like lifestyle, like change type of thing. But it was the way of thinking, like your environment truly does dictate who you are and what you can do, and actually changing it could positively benefit your life. It's very interesting to me, which is why we want to move as well. Because
Yeah, you guys gotta come to Florida, man. Where are you thinking about going?
I think in St. Pete's.
That's where I just
But-
left. I was in St. Pete for like 3 years, dude. It is a time.
Really?
Like, yeah, go.
Jeez.
Like that's the spot. If you didn't say St. Pete, I was gonna say you should go to St. Pete.
Yeah. you recommend it?
Oh, 100%. Like the reason is just because like it's thriving, you know, there's new restaurants all the time. There's new development, you know, it's hop, skip, and a jump from Tampa, Clearwater, Sarasota. It's like 30 minutes each way.
Yeah.
But like there is an endless amount of people there, again, looking for, you know, the opposites attract, right? They're kind of looking for that person who can take them to the next level and like who can push them. It's a very friendly, competitive environment where people who are like, all right, we have a lot of skills and a lot of experience in the same industry. How can we like combine powers and like grow better?
Yeah.
And I see so many people in like the film industry and like, you know, insurance or lending or building or restaurant business where it's like St. Pete is a prosperous community. And you're on the beach.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
And you're on the beach.
And you're on the
That's
beach.
big. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
white sands, blue waters, mahi, grouper sandwiches.
Yeah.
You know?
Trev, we got to pack up and go.
I know.
Yeah, you gotta go, dude. I'm
time.
telling you.
I was seeing the same videos as Nick, where it's like there's a lot of people from like New York just flocking over like Florida. Where they're like, my life is like 10 times better now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just
I mean, it's affordable too. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit more expensive, but you got to get now because the next 10 years is going to be like another Miami.
yeah.
I mean, the pipeline of development projects, they just built something
Yeah.
called 400 Central. I think the cheapest condo was like 1.7 mil,
Jeez.
and it's already sold out. But
Of
like,
course it is.
wow, yeah, like not even done yet. Like done in the end of 2026.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Everything's
Wow.
sold out. But
That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah, now it's a play. Yeah, so we're trying to really systemize our stuff up here, so then we can go. The guys who do our ads, they live in St. Pete's.
Yeah.
And they systemized their business and they moved.
oh, they did.
Yeah, they literally the same.
Oh, is it SM3?
It's SM3. Yeah, you know Joe Potenza, Jack.
Dude, long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your boy.
Yeah. Well, he
Oh, dude.
he does ads for us. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in St. Pete.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Do you
that's
know him?
hilarious. I've seen him a couple times at some networking events.
Yeah.
And like some real estate events. But I see his content all the time. It's great.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
goes hard on the content.
Yeah.
And dude, yeah, they're expanding. So their wholesale business does like $600,000 like a month, bro.
Wow.
They kill it.
Yeah.
Kill it. But he said the same thing. Like, yeah, we systemized. We got really good at running ads.
Yeah.
Systemize our business. Like hire it out. We have a CEO. They do like obviously see the day to day.
Right.
Then we moved.
And
And I
that's
was
it.
like, it's fucking genius.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Done. Why didn't I think of that?
We're-
right?
we're
I was
done,
like,
bro.
Dude, you guys really got something going on. So yes, we're just like we're trying to do the same thing. Put better systems in place, continue to grow. Get better, obviously better people, better leads, better products within the company, and then we're gonna hopefully
Okay.
step out once we're at a certain level.
That's it, man.
So that's actually a pretty good segue. I would like to touch upon strategy and talk a little bit about what we're each doing. But first, I mean, let's get a little technical. For somebody that's new to loans or new to real estate investing, somebody wants to get into it. What do you think most people misunderstand, or what are some misconceptions, and how can somebody prepare themselves to qualify for the loans that they're looking for?
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that you need a lot of money to do any deal. And as I was saying before, you don't really need money. You just know what you're good at. I know a lot of people who can underwrite the shit out of a deal. They're great with numbers. You know, they can broker, they can find good partners. They just don't have any gas. So what I tell them, I was like, find someone with gas in the car and get in with them. And it's very, very easy, you know, because it's very, on the other side of the spectrum, that person with a lot of money might have no time. right? Like I know tons of people with tons of money who are like don't have time of day to even like make a bowl of cereal in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, but they want their money to work for them, and it's like, well, I have you. It's a trade off of two things in this world: time or money. You're trading your time for money or money for time. That's it, right? And so, if you're trying to get into real estate, you're trying to get any industry, right? You have to know your place, and your place really is learning, right? So, like, you find someone that you admire, and find someone you're like, all right, I think I want to follow him or her footsteps, and then just kind of shadow them. I think having a really good teacher in any industry is super important. So, like, you know, the misconceptions are, oh, I need a lot of money. Oh, I need, you know, good credit. You know, seller financing, you know, like you don't need credit at all, right? You know, so I still advocate for seller financing, even though there's no loans involved. But the cool part about, you know, what I do is teaching people the different products that are available, like, you know, between non-QM, quasi-governmental, conventional stuff, like there's so many different weapons that you can wield in your arsenal in the world of loans. And people are like, oh, I need 20% down and a 720 credit score and like a perfect, you know, track record of paying my credit cards. And I'm like, no. Like, let's take a step back, right? Especially if we're talking about real estate investing, because that's where you can get really creative, right? Like, I love being able to, it's almost like art, right? Like looking at a group of guys who like buy properties together, and they're like, well, he's got good credit, or he's got a lot of money. He's got the credit. My credit sucks, but he's got the experience, and, you know, but his father's a GC. Like, how do we kind of paint this picture to make it work and get it approved, right? Because for me, it's like, my job is telling my underwriters like to tell me no, right? And I love telling them yes. Like, that's what I get. You know, I get hopped off of them telling them yes, and they want to tell me no. Like, that's their job. So I've learned to think like an underwriter. Like, I like think like the enemy is what they say. You know. So I tell people, listen. Like, one example I say all the time is, you're in an LLC, you know, with like, let's say you guys are in an LLC together, right? Like, you've got credit, and you guys have the money, okay? But your credit's not that good. Well, you guys are in the same LLC. So you guys are going to put your funds in an LLC bank account, right? TD Bank, Wells Fargo, whatever. It's going to be LLC bank account. Put the funds in there. You guys are going to have an operating agreement, three of you. Operating agreement just specifies who has what percentage ownership of the company at any point in time. And you guys have the ability to change that because you own the company. You can change it every single day, 365 if you wanted to. But upon submission, when we submit that loan, my boy over here is going to have majority ownership of the company because he's got the credit, right? But you guys have the money. But it doesn't matter because the money is in a company account. But because of the operating agreement, your name is on it, his name is on it, it's shared funds. So by virtue of just kind of shelling things into a LLC, you know, we can check all the boxes off, right? So even if it's not a true third split, and when you close, again, you can change that percentage ownership. Like, that's just one of the creative things where people come to me all the time, and I'm just like, listen, if you're trying to do this deal, like, and people will hide things from me too. Like, and that's what I tell them, and that's why I love being a broker and not a direct lender. We do some direct, like, warehouse line stuff, but I'm like, listen, I'm your friend, not your enemy. Yeah. Like, you're not talking to a direct guy where I'm going to hang up the phone and tell you to, like, you know, pound sand. Like, I want to help you as bad as you want to help you. Yeah. So, like, if you don't tell me what's in your closet, I'm going to find out anyway. I might make fun of you for it, but, like, you know, I got to know. So, but yeah, that's the misconception is people are like, oh, I don't have this, or I don't have that amount of money. I don't have that credit. I don't have that experience. Again, it all goes back to networking, getting in a room, asking the right questions, being curious, using your ears. Like, people are, and I think people, the reason there's such a barrier to entry is because they have analysis paralysis, and they just like they go like, it's just so much, and then they gas out. Like, they're like, I can't do it because it's just so, you know what I mean? So that's usually what it is.
Does anyone else want to touch upon any points or before we move forward?
I want to talk to you guys about your life.
Oh, put me on, dude. Yeah,
dude, like, I didn't come here to kind of talk about me. I honestly came here curious, like, to talk about you guys. Like,
no shit. You
guys are doing fantastic things. Like, how did you guys get to the point where you're at right now, and where is the trajectory going? Like, give me the last, like, 12 months of what Astra was, what it is now.
Yeah.
Like, I see this cheek to cheek smile,
Dude,
man.
so-
I'm
It's been
so
a-
excited.
You know
It's
what's
been a
funny?
journey.
So beginning of this year, it was weird because we were in a weird spot with the company. I had my kid in September of last year.
God bless.
I
bro.
had,
That's awesome.
yeah, I appreciate you, brother. It's crazy, right? So it was like a
Yeah.
whole life changing experience. Beginning this year, we entered, we went full time officially into Astra at the end of last year. But this year, the first like 4 to 5 months of the year was just us trying to like systemize and figure out our business because I came from an operation with Freedom Property while I was full time, where I was leading the sales team over there, but like our systems were not that great, and like leads were coming in, but there was a million cracks, right? So
Yeah.
with us, I kind of built the same system within Astra, but all of a sudden I noticed like we're spending all this money on marketing, but like so much is falling through the cracks, we're like losing money. Plus we had issues with our properties. We had furnaces going. We had a roof go on one. Like we had a bad rainstorm and the roof started leaking, so we had to replace it like within a couple of days. Everything that could have went wrong.
Unbelievable.
I think the tenant issues were the worst, bro.
Oh
yeah,
my
then we
God.
had
Fucking
dude, we
months.
had a guy who, mind you, we evicted this lady who had 40 cats from our first floor in one of our properties in Bristol. And we rented to someone else who was like, his attorney vouched for him. He's like, hey, listen, he needs somewhere to go. I can put my word on him. Like, he's been a lifelong friend.
Every red flag, bro. Every
Everything.
red flag was
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
except he offered $100 more.
Yeah,
He
Month.
offered 100
Oh,
more.
right,
And his
right,
attorney's
right,
like, no, listen. He's like, I promise you, this tenant is not going to cause you any issues. He just had a really rough patch in his life. He's good. And I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll take a fine on this guy. It's a tough unit to rent because we couldn't get the smell out from the
Oh,
cats.
jeez.
So I was like, it's a kind of tough unit to rent
Ammonia.
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, shit. So we're like, all right. So we gave it to this guy. He paid rent twice, never paid rent again. Took us a year to get him out. Oh, not a year, like 8 months to get him out. This started last year. We were just facing all these issues that were like bleeding us of cash.
Yeah.
And so, long story short, we got him out. We had to pay to get him out. We sold it. We sold that house. We sold our 4-family. We paid off all of our debt, and then we reinvested back into marketing. We brought on a really good sales guy. Actually, we took him. We trained him. Made him do like a mini meeting.
He was hungry.
Yeah, he was really
Yeah.
hungry.
A lot of the
You were
traits that
motivated.
you
Yeah,
talked
dude.
about. The dude just wanted more.
He was like,
So took him in.
it's fucking amazing. I love him. His name's Mike. I think you might have seen him at one of the events. He was
He was with us once. Yeah.
But we brought him on. And then we just went balls to the wall with leads,
Yep.
calling people. We became super aggressive with our strategies. We door knocked people. Like a lead came in, we couldn't get a hold of him. I was like, Trevor, go door knock him. Door knocked him, signed him a week later. Like we just became super aggressive with
That's
how we like get in front of people. And then we started closing a lot of deals. And all of a sudden we went from just being wholesalers to now we're buying more flips. So now we're looking at, which is bizarre for me to even say, we're looking at 29 units. In Hartford. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's
Need
like
a loan? I'm kidding.
actually, so it's funny. This one, it's weird because it's like the purchase price is going to be between $1 million to $1.1 million, but it needs like between $1.5 million to $2 million of work.
Was this the place you were in the other day where you said I could put a pool here?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes.
place.
I saw that.
Yeah, and that's-
Marcos was like, yeah, I can see a little swimming action. down
Yeah,
there."
right. Yeah, no,
Yeah, that's
that's
the
gonna be
place.
interesting. So if we do get it, it's interesting how fast stuff can start rolling once
Yeah.
you like properly systemize.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that's like kind of where we went. But,
No, and that was probably like, around 6 months ago. We had this like coming to Christ, and we were like, all right, shit in our lives got to go, and we're like identifying, we're like freaking chalkboarding everything and
yeah,
or whiteboarding
that
everything,
whiteboard right there actually.
and we're
Dude,
like,
whiteboards are key.
that's
Yeah.
that's
If you
been
don't have a
to
whiteboard, you ain't doing it right.
Oh no, yeah, dude, we have 2 actually.
Yeah.
We have 2.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
serious we got.
no, we got the double-sided ones too. 'Cause
Yeah, flip it
you don't
over.
want to, you
Yeah.
never want to erase anything, and
Yeah.
no, but it was seriously, it was just evaluating a bunch of leeches in our lives, and figuring out we like to go like this.
Marcos loves this, bro.
Cut people out.
We
Oh,
signal when
He's quick to cuss
yeah,
them
no,
out, bro.
when
Well,
we're
dude,
having
You got a point. Like if you know that someone is like holding you back or something is holding you back from like getting to you want to go, like you don't have time
Mhm.
to debate about it, right? Like you got to go. So
we just go like this,
yes,
and we're like, shoot, all right, yeah, we gotta make some changes.
Yeah.
yeah,
And no, we met Trevor not too long ago, just a
Yeah.
couple months ago too.
5 months ago.
Yeah.
Same thing, and we're just like, all right, like
We'll let our
these
core
are our
guys-
people,
yeah.
and we're all committed. We're all equally committed. We each identify our roles, and we just roll.
So what are the rules?
So, as far as sales team, sales side, it's Nick and Mike. They're handling
Yeah.
they're handling everything. We look at it as they play offense, and as
Yeah.
far as anything that is operations on Flip or on rentals that enters my playing field, and then all your strategy or just keeping shit afloat, finance, and all your back end stuff is also kind of Trevor and I, and we're kind of we separate. We kind of stay in our lanes.
Yeah.
But you have to, I mean, like you in my company, I say, what you can do to move the needle the most. And don't waste your time trying to do somebody else's job when you can't do it as good. And then it's also not your job.
Yeah.
You
You're
know?
wasting both people's time. So
Yeah.
It makes it harder.
Yeah. Like you lose momentum,
You do.
and so it's just like you find your place. But it's just repetition. It's just reps.
Mhm.
And people get tired of that because they don't feel like they're moving. But like one day, dude, like whether it's what I do or you gentlemen do, like you all these little baby steps that you took where you feel like you got nowhere and then the hammer just falls and you're like, yo, like you turn around and you're like, I came from all the way over there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
It is.
And then it's like, all right, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
But it's just like, dude, you just gotta believe in yourself, man. And I feel like if people just believe themselves a little bit more in this world, the world would just be a little bit of a better place.
Mhm.
A lot happier.
A lot happier.
A lot,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then also just like not being so gluttonous for glory and like, fame and like just having the right intentions too.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are two big things.
A lot of people, especially in our space, try and flex what you get, especially wholesalers in particular. Like you flex the checks,
Oh yeah.
the HUDs, the cars. You flex all this stuff, but in reality, I feel like this year too, I didn't really dive into that much. I also found Christ this year. I always very spiritual person in a way, like more into like just like kind of like the universe and like all that kind of jazz. But after I started reading the Bible, it really opened my eyes to like more God and more Jesus as a whole. So now I'm starting to realize there's more to it than just like money and just trying to get a big assignment fee at the end of the day. And that's what it brought me closer to my family, brought me closer to my son. And even though he's only 15 months, like how close can he be? But it just made me more present. You know what I mean? Because I really wasn't that present, wasn't that focused. But it made me more. It made me more take the moments, I guess you could say, the little moments, and like actually cherish them more instead of just trying to answer the phone or call someone back or just like harp on something that doesn't actually serve me or like a deal that fell through. Like at the beginning of this year, we lost a deal. It would have made us $100,000. We'll split in half, 50-50 each.
Yeah.
It's Brian's fault, truth be told. But
Yeah.
long story
Terrible
short,
kid.
it's horrible.
Yeah. He ruins everything.
Dude, anytime he gets his hands on something, he'll find a way,
Fuck
bro.
up.
He'll find a way.
Or go buy a gun or a new Jeep and like,
Yeah,
honestly, you want to talk about red flags?
Then he'll flip it.
You want to talk about red flags? I'll just get Brian's got all the red flags.
Every single thing you can possibly imagine. It's funny, yeah. So I don't go wrong. He'll buy a gun, and then he'll FaceTime you like naked
He'll
with the
FaceTime
gun.
you with-
But no. So long story short, I used to harp on things that wouldn't actually like push the needle forward. And this year was a big year of reflection and just not letting that actually like dictate my life.
Yeah. No, that's true because it's like you gotta get knocked down, twice and get up three. It's like you have to look at adversity as a learning moment, and then again, like back to Marcos's question, like barrier to entry. Like, why do you think so many people can't see themselves successful? It's because they see failure as permanent state of mind, and life is not easy, and it's also as hard as you make it. So yeah, you're gonna like lose deals. I'm gonna lose deals. Like I'm gonna lose like people on my sales team who might get, recruited elsewhere, or things are just not gonna go our way. But you have to find the silver lining. So I've gotten really, I'm not trying to like pump my own tires, but I feel like I've gotten really good at finding the silver lining in things.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you just try to take it as a learning moment instead of like, oh, I'm so unlucky, or this is my life, or why is it always me, or like, people just, their automatic, response is just to like portray their negative feelings out into the world. And then instead of reflecting, be like, well, okay, like what steps did I take that got me there? And like, what can I do next time to avoid that? I think is important. and vital to anybody's success. It's just how you respond really to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It's funny. It's a victim mindset. When you're like, whenever something goes wrong, you're like, oh, poor me. Like, he's like, he doesn't notice me, or like this always happens to me. If you have that mindset, that's what's gonna continuously happen, and people get into a cycle, right? So Shelby has an uncle. My fiance has an uncle. And he has that exact mindset. So one time, this is actually last Christmas, he started crying, because no one, like, he was trying to talk, but like everyone was having a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
And no one heard him. And so he started, like, actually, like a full grown man started crying because we just didn't, like, no one heard what he was saying. Then he started screaming, like, no one listens to me. You guys always do this. I feel like I'm so unseen. And then her dad was like, yo, we just didn't hear you, dude. Speak up. Like, everyone's yelling. Like, how do you expect to be heard?
Use your voice.
Yeah, but he had that same exact mindset. Then he stopped showing up. So, I mean, like, I haven't seen him since. But, yeah, it's all mindset. So
No, it is. Dude, so I'm on my phone right now, not because I wasn't listening to you, but there's a book you guys got to read, and
put me on.
it's called The Frequency Effect.
I think I heard of it.
So I got turned on to The Frequency Effect through Napoleon Hill.
This way?
And Napoleon Hill, yeah. And so Napoleon Hill, he wrote Think and Grow Rich, and he also wrote
Yeah. Is it on Audible?
Outwitting the Devil.
Yeah.
And Outwitting the Devil and Think and Grow Rich are two books that changed my life in the way I think, the way I approach, the way I communicate with people, the way I, you know, just like delineate my thoughts, how I carry myself. But the Frequency Effect is so applicable just because, like, it'll tell you how to practically, like, manifest your thoughts into a way that people don't understand the theory of, like, non-communication communication. And, like, you have to be able to put yourself in a state of mind of, like, constant success. And that is so hard for so many people. But, like, this book will teach you, like, how to strip. It'll teach you all the lies you were taught as a kid in school. Everything that your parents taught you how to be successful, or, like, what to do, what, what to eat, like, the food you put in your body, like, how you communicate with people, manners. Like, it literally takes you as a person and it just strips you away, and it tells you to start fresh. Like, this is where I was saying before, like, recoding your DNA. Like, a lot of people, when you're a child, I'm like big on philosophy. If you haven't already gotten this concept in the idea, but, like, you are such a sponge when you're a kid. And, like, you're just immune, or you're like a product of your environment, right? And so you are only as smart as the people that are around you. And again, that's not your fault, right? But, like, you don't know it, but, like, what you learned when we were, like, 5 and 15 and 20 is what we're going to automatically resort to when we're 25, 30, and 40, because it's literally encoded in us. The way we react, like, if someone pisses me off, I used to just scream and black out. Like, I, truth be told, I have a really bad temper. Yeah. Like, when I get pissed, I black out and I scream and I don't stop. Like, it goes on. Yeah. But, like, and that's kind of like a victim of my environment. Like when I was a kid, my parents just, like, screamed at each other. Yeah. Like, they both were screamers, So I was like, I don't like acting like that. I feel bad about myself. My voice, I literally can't talk the next day. I have a headache. And then I make the other person feel bad about whoever I'm screaming at. And then that's just not a good way to communicate, So it's like, this book and a lot of self-help books that I've read have helped me with business, helped me spiritually, helped me with my religion, helped me with my relationships. But I think it all goes back to just, like, mastering yourself, because, like, if you can't master yourself, you can't master your business. Like, I think if you are not in control of your own emotions, your own thoughts, or your own actions, how are you going to run Asher Properties to 100 million empire? You know what I mean? So you guys gotta tap in. The Frequency Effect is crazy.
I'm gonna find it on some form of audiobook. I'm an audiobook guy.
Dude, it's not an audiobook.
It's not at all.
It's an interactive book. And that's why it's so impactful. It's because you're actually reading and then you're applying it, because it asks you to take note and write your three things down. So it's an interactive, it's like 70 pages. It's not long.
Okay, gotcha.
It's not long. But it's not an audiobook. It's interactive, and you have to be able to apply it. Like, I listen to audiobooks, and audiobooks are great when I'm, ripping in the car, on the train, on a plane, whatever. But like, it's something that you, like, there's a difference between like reading something passively and then like when I write something and like I kind of ingrain it in my brain and like I memorize it a little bit better. But dude, yeah, like if that's like anything you want to do in 2026, like a New Year's resolution, is like read that book.
Yeah, I
Okay,
read something
deal.
similar called the Secret. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
what's that?
Secret.
Put me
That's
on.
got me into manifestation.
Yeah,
The Secret. Yeah.
is a great book. Basically, just to sum it up, it's kind of like law of attraction. It's
Oh,
really good.
dude, 100%.
And I hate to be that dude, but for film purposes and the little
Space.
snippet, quick, if we have time, I'd like to talk about networking hacks. Do you have anything that we can? And I mean, so again, we all know that networking is a big part of the business, and people sleep on it. Why should people network? And what are some of your favorite networking tips?
So people sleep on networking because they're afraid of meeting new people. And they're probably afraid because they're not comfortable with the version of themselves that they are right now. But you know who else feels like that? Every other person in that room.
Mm.
So you are there to improve yourself, not because you are trying to become the version of yourself that you want to be, but because you're in a room of people who also want to help you get there, and they're in that same boat too. So I think some of the tips of networking are don't go in, very, big and bold and audacious. Like don't walk through a door and think that all the spotlights should be on you. Be curious, ask a lot of questions, and be honest. Like be honest about your position. Like, are you, in a season of need? Are you in a season of giving? Like, do you want to learn? Do you want to grow? Like, what are you actually looking for? And then just like like I said, be curious about people. The more questions you ask, the more people you talk to, the easier it'll be to find your person. I think my biggest takeaway from starting to go to networking events to then, doing monthly ones and then doing these massive, 100 people events is just that the more people you get into a room, the more knowledge you have the ability to take away at the end of the night. But you have to be hungry and you have to put an effort, right? But it all goes back to just like, do you really want it? I think if anybody wants to start, like if you're in a position of business and you want to grow and you don't have a lot of money, like whatever industry you're in, get like 5 or 10 people that you know in the business and just go to a restaurant and just order a couple drinks, order some apps, and start a conversation. And then tell those 10 people to invite one person next month, and then it's 20, then it's 40, then it's, it just compounds. Yeah. But, do it with intent. And, I will never not attend or go to networking events, purely because, again, I'm interested in people. Like, I think we can't be selfish. Like, humans are supposed to help other humans. Like that's what we're here to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like I don't want to be involved with people who aren't interested in the betterment of mankind and doing the right things. But I have noticed every time I go to a networking event, it's just everybody is so thoughtful and open-minded, and they're curious and they want to see you win, and they have your best interest at heart. Mm-hmm. But just go. Like a lot of people go and they think that it's going to be bad, but just go with an open mind and just give it a shot. That's what I'd say.
It's not to keep talking about Brian, but he brought up a good point. I think last time he was here too. He was nervous. Like his first event, he was super nervous. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's the most talkative guy that you could possibly know. You know what I mean? But even him going into rooms, like we went to Vegas with him for the WealthCon event. Yeah. And we got there late. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna wait for you guys to get here. I'm afraid to go into this room." And he's like, "You know what? Actually," he's like, "Nah." He's like, "I'm gonna go and I'm gonna talk to some people." And he went in there. He was there an hour before we even got there. And next thing you know, he was talking to the CEO of Ryan's company, the guy who hosted the event. COO. The COO of the company. Brian's sitting there laughing and joking with, and I was like, "That's awesome. This guy do it."
It's not like those events. I went to the Bigger Pockets one. I was gonna go to the WealthCon one, but I couldn't go Vegas like 2 weeks in a row. That would have
it's too much. It's too much.
That would have been brutal. But no, I think like every event I go to, I'm like, I'm gonna meet somebody else that's gonna help me take me to the next level. Whereas even if I don't go, I never know like the opportunities I could have had if I didn't attend. So you got to be like going with a purpose, right? Like, because I think a lot of these networking events are very like super structured. You're in a chair, you're listening. There's a moderator, there's a presentation, but like the real meat is like in the mingling, like when you're just like on an escalator, or you're like grabbing a coffee, or you're like waiting to be seated at the restaurant, and the person behind you, like you just start chatting it up. So like perfect example, the Bigger Pockets one, I met a great kid from Mexico City, and he has a company called Antal App.
Yep.
An Antal App is a fully automated real estate service platform website where he has AI agents, AI wholesalers, AI everything. It will find the property for you in any market. You go to his website and you type in like, I want a 2-family just outside New York City with 1,800 square feet, a 2-car garage. Like you type in your metrics, and it'll find it. Like,
No shit.
and he found a way to like skip trace all of these websites with active listings and foreclosures, and things that are tax sales, and he'll give it to you. And then it's like, do you want to make an offer on this house? Yes. And then the agent will like send a contract on the website, and they'll negotiate for you. Like the agent will literally like do the negotiating.
What's it called?
So it's called Antal App. And so what we're doing, or what we're hopefully doing, is we're partnering up, and we're offering a lending division on this, to where I've automated my side of the company through Pro Alpha Capital, through Antal App. So you can find your property, make an offer, get pre-approved, submit your loan, and close on one website. And it is just like the next level. Like, isn't
it crazy how powerful AI has gotten?
It is the next level. Like, so when I met this kid, like I saw his vision. His name's Roberto. Like, shout out Roberto. Like, you're a legend, buddy. Like this, he's so driven, right? And again, it just goes back to like having a sense of purpose and knowing what you want in life. And we sat down and we talked, and we're like, I think you can help me. I can help you. But none of that would have happened if I didn't go to a networking event, right? Like all of these things I've done in my life are just because of chance, and just because of believing and taking that step. And I don't want to be sitting on my rocking chair at 88 years old, just saying to myself, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. Yeah. Like, I'd rather swing and miss 1,000,000 times than not take any at bats. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, so, but yeah, dude.
I checked it out.
It's unreal. Like after you have your own time, like it's legit.
I'm gonna look more into it. I'll sign up.
Yeah.
It's funny, and AI is so powerful now. We actually made something for wholesalers called Offer Lab, and we'll wrap up in a second here. But we made something called Offer Lab, where it's literally, it helps new wholesalers make offers on houses, and it will tell you exactly where you need to offer. Put in like what you think the repair budget is. We'll calculate it for you, and it'll tell you where you need to offer for you to make your desired fee. It'll tell you what your fee is, what the ROI is going to be for the investor, how you should pitch it, what the best structure is for the deal, whether it's a fix and flip, rental.
That's awesome.
Power of AI, man.
Yeah, it is.
So,
yeah.
Do you guys offer affiliate links?
Dude, we're trying to. Absolutely.
Good to know.
Yeah, we absolutely are. I mean, like I said, now that I have freedom of control of like making decisions, it's like I want to be able to help, Yeah. So it's like, I think anything I can do to help Astra, anything you guys can do to help me, it's just like, this is a win-win life, dude. Like,
we'll keep going. Someone do to provide you some value in your business as a whole.
Dude, if you guys know anybody who really wants to change their lives, yes, make a good living, but also have a positive impact on their family, on their mindset, if they feel lost as a person, like, send them my way. Like, my company is not about, commas behind zeros. Like, you are going to make a good living. That is a fact. But like, the marrow of Pro Alpha is about reshaping you as a person, right? So if you guys know anybody who's just like, I'm lost, my parents don't give me the right guidance, I don't think I have anybody I can follow, I have no structure, like I don't have a sense of purpose, I need to like be a part of something, like that is our mission as a company, you know. So anybody who wants to get in sales, you know, they have their wits about them. They got a little brains and they want to learn about loans. But most importantly, they want to be a good person. You know, that's who we're looking for. We're like, we won't just hire anybody, but if you guys know anyone who is motivated, wants to eat what they kill,
Yeah.
you know, that's how you guys can help, man. I just
Sweet.
want to help people, bro. That's it.
Sweet.
Sweet.
I love it, dude.
Dude, you're a fucking killer, bro.
Yeah, you're fucking
You're a
great,
killer.
man.
I don't know,
You're
man.
doing a lot of deals, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Dude, you guys are killing it, man.
You're great, man.
I'm humbled. I'm blessed to be here, dude.
Dude, no, I'm actually really glad you hit us up because I know you're really
go-
upsetting my time. So
Now I'm gonna go get J Tim's.
Ooh.
Oh,
Can't go wrong, bro. You cannot go wrong. Yeah. Anything you want to say?
I'm good. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
That's
boys.
it.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Dude.
See ya.